Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Gamertag Radio with your hosts, Danny Peña, Paris Lily, and Peter Toledo.
And yes, we're back. And of course, we don't have no live show yet. I know it's been over a month, but we'll be back very soon. Welcome to Gamertag Radio episode 1366. This is your host, Danny Peña. And also join me, co-host of the show, the one and only Riana MP. Right, that's what you want me to call you? Riana MP, y'all. What's up, Rian?
What's up? I'm trying some new stuff, so you'll hear more about what that means later. But yeah, thank you for having me back. I am excited to talk about this one today.
Nice, yeah. We're gonna be talking about Astro Bot that came out recently on the PlayStation 5. Actually, we've been playing it for a while, and we wanted to record a special episode a couple days ago, but we've been busy. We've been traveling. We've been doing stuff. Actually, we're going to be traveling again, and it's going to be crazy. So, but we're going to be talking about it here on this episode of GTR. And anything new with you, Ree, before we continue with the show?
Yeah, lots of new stuff going down behind the scenes that, like I said, I'll be announcing soon. But as What's Good Games is winding down, just planning for the future and seeing what my next adventures will be. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. In the meantime, everyone, I'm going to be working on a new intro for GTR because now that we have a new co-host, we have to add her in the intro. So it's going to take some time. I have to figure out how I'm going to do this, but just bear with me. Bear with me. By the way, a couple of days ago, I just went to an event. And I got to play Dragon Age Vanguard, and we played it. Veilguard, and we played that for about 6 hours, I believe. Wait, more than 6. It was from 9 to 5. That was a long session. That's way more than 6 hours, right? Yeah. Anyways, we got to play it, so we're planning to have a coverage about our hands-on very soon. On a GTR, make sure to subscribe and make sure once it's available, you can check it out. Don't miss it. All right. Mm-hmm. Also, head over to gamertagradio.com, post your comments and feedback, listen to our past episodes. Also, you can find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. We're there. And make sure to share the content, subscribe, interact on Spotify. You could go there and post some comments and stuff, and I'll read it. I'm always reading stuff from there, so make sure to make that happen. Now, if you would like to be part of our family discussion, here's how you could contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, Ree, we're going to be talking about Astro Bot. So have you seen my video that I posted a couple of days ago?
No, I haven't watched that one.
So the video I posted a couple of days ago was a very short review because I just finished the game. I was like in a very high moment. I was like, I need to talk about this as soon as possible. And I called this a masterpiece, best PlayStation 5 game. Mm-hmm. Of this generation. I know a lot of people are like, but wait, are you for real? Best one for real? Some people might say, wait a minute, it's a tech demo. But first of all, it's not a tech demo. It's an official.
The original Astro Bot,
from
2018.
But we're talking about the second game. We're not talking about the first. This is a brand new game that is not a tech demo. And it just came out a couple of days ago. So we're going to be talking about all this. So I know you got to see this back a few months ago at Summer Game Fest, and I think you were the first person that I know from the crew. Mm-hmm. You said this reminded you of Mario Galaxy, yes. Super Mario Galaxy. Why is that?
It reminds me of Super Mario Galaxy because of the obvious comparisons. It's a character platformer set in space, but beyond that, you have really inventive worlds. You have some very unique characters as enemies that you see different iterations of, depending on what biome or what planet you're in. The boss fights and even mini bosses feel very similar to the way it felt to fight against, different bosses in Super Mario Galaxy. I won't say they're the same; they're not, but it does give you that nostalgic feeling. So if you were to play Astro Bot and then go back to Super Mario Galaxy and play that game, you will see, the benefit of 20 something years of development know-how and quality of life updates. But the feeling that I got playing this game, and we're going to go spoiler free for the first half of this conversation. So the feeling of discovering new moments or new places to explore, or, going around a corner and finding a really cool character bot from a franchise that I recognize. Like there's those surprise and delight moments that were peppered throughout this experience that it really just took me back to like what made me appreciate these platformers back in the day. And I think it stands toe to toe with the Galaxy. I personally, because of the history this game can acknowledge throughout the legacy of PlayStation, this tops it for me. And I've said it already in my videos. I'm gonna say it again here. This may be the best platform of all time.
Yeah. I think I totally agree with you about that. I know when I got to play for the first time, it wasn't at Summer Game Fest. It was actually at home. So, I was taking care of baby. You were at PAX, doing your thing. And I fell in love right away. I love the tech demo. I think people are going to bring that up a lot. It was cool and all. But this feels different. First of all, it has a story. There's boss battles. There's a lot of things you do in this game. There's more features that wasn't available in the first game from like the PlayStation 5 that's available in this one. Plus the game mechanics, a lot of new things there that I just really, really had a great time with it. Like, for example, you finding pieces from the ship that after it gets wrecked, you got to go to like different planets. This is not spoiler. This is just like a normal
the setup
thing.
is that your PlayStation 5 has crash landed somewhere and all the pieces scattered to different corners of the galaxy, and you have to go collect them by fighting this alien that has stolen them and hiding them all over the world.
Yeah, so once you get it, you use your motion controls to put the pieces together. Once you get the pieces, and you go to like a certain planet where all the bot members are located
your crash site.
Yeah, so it's
very cute.
I really, really enjoy the game. There's lots of cameos. I just love how Team ASOBI pays homage to 30 plus years worth of PlayStation games, not only from the first party titles, but also third party. So like you're going to see characters from like different, I'm not going to say who because that's spoilers, but
some of them
that
are shown like God of War.
Well, that's first party. That's first party.
Yeah, you see Aloy and Nathan Drake versions of the bots in some of the trailers, which are really cool. But, as Danny's saying, if you think of some even more throwback characters, there's some deep, deep cuts in there for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, it's been good. I just love the whole thing, Ree. I just there's a lot of goosebumps moments, not only through the boss battles, but even passing a regular level. There's some moments I'm like, wow, that is so cool. Like I remember going downstairs, checking out your game session, and you the whole time were like, oh my god, this is so cool. Oh my god, like every time you discover something new.
Yeah, especially I got to the end. That
the end.
That in a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I really, really enjoy this. I can't think of a platformer that took it to that level in the most recent couple of years. I think maybe Psychonauts 2. Before that, maybe
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, and also Mario Galaxy after that. But yeah.
One of the things that I love about this game, and you'll see a lot in the trailer footage, is all of the different power-ups that Astro Bot gets. And yes, it's an easy thing to say, like, oh, this looks like Kirby, or this looks like Sunshine, or whatever. But truthfully, they are so creative in the way that they use, like, for instance, like there's a power-up that gives you twin gloves, like boxing gloves that have several go gadget arms, like that are little frog faces, and you can use them to either like slinky punch things, or you can use it to grab onto things and like swing and grapple. Like there's like a rocket dog, like a little bulldog that backpack that gives you like a boost jump, and you can use that to either like boost into enemies or to clear different distances that you normally couldn't go with just a regular double jump. And they have these monkey paws that kind of like slap the ground really hard and like do an area of effect thing, or they activate certain buttons. But they can also grab projectiles and throw them, and they can also grab onto different hooks and help you like scale walls and buildings. So like there's just so many different mechanics that they played around with and used each one in lots of different creative ways across multiple levels. And it's always fun when you come to a new planet, you see a familiar thing, a familiar backpack, a familiar power-up, but you're using it in a new way on this level. And they're constantly kind of switching it up so that some of it feels familiar enough that you know what you're maybe supposed to do, but you have to kind of stretch your brain to figure out a new application for this thing that you thought you knew everything about. So it's constantly leveling up like as you go through. And to get through the entire game, you need 200 bots. But there are 300 total throughout the entire galaxy that you can find. So, and I may be using the term galaxy or universe incorrectly. Forgive me for that. But there are multiple different, like hubs, like nebulas. And each one of them have many, many levels and then a boss level. Those boss levels take bots to unlock. So you have to have 200 for the last one. And even if you get through the end of the game, roll credits, there's still so much more to go do. And it's not exactly New Game Plus. It's just go finish all of the worlds that you didn't get to if you went straight to the boss as soon as you're able. But there's just so many opportunities for them to show different types of gameplay, really stretch the capabilities of the DualSense controller. At the same time, there are accessibility options. So there's times when, I'm using the rumble or the vibration in the controller to sense where there's a plate that I can push, right? To feel the sensitive spot. But if I have the baby on my lap and she's sleeping, then I turn that off and I switch it to a visual input instead. So there's lots of ways to kind of tweak your experience, but the full, DualSense capability is really on show. And here it's really just kind of like a masterclass in how to use the functionality of that controller. It does fun things with motion controls. Even flying into a new level, you can kind of move your controller / glider left or right or boost it in order to try to grab things that are floating around in the space before you crash land on each new level. Like there's like every little detail, they clearly just thought a lot about it so that there's really no wasted moments or opportunities for you to find something cool. And they could have made so much. What I'm trying to say is they could have done so much less. They could have made far fewer cool decisions. They could have put a lot less into this game and it still would have been serviceable. It still would have been good. It still would have been fun. But they really went above and beyond it. Almost every opportunity I could even think of, and many opportunities I would never have imagined, to make this special. And you can just see the love pouring through it. It's so well executed. I can't give Team ASOBI enough credit for that.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, playing this game reminded me a lot of Nintendo. I'm like, okay, they got a lot of inspiration from Nintendo. So, yeah. Really enjoy the music, too, because one thing that I do love about this game is original soundtrack, of course, right? But there's also some songs that is paying homage from, like, past characters from, like, third parties also, or first party that's available there. So you can feel, like, every level feels very, very different, and it was really cool to see that, So, really enjoy that the game overall. And I know people are gonna ask, "Oh, so this is like a simple, easy game?" No, it gets hard. It gets really, really hard, especially once you start getting like the hidden levels. Right now, I have 207 bots. I think 207 or 208. I know, Reed, you have way more because you've been taking your time getting more, but. How was the levels for you? Because for me, there was some levels that was like challenging. You just got to keep on going until you figure it out. Like there was one level that I found that's like one of those bonus ones where I was there for like almost 45 minutes. It was just I just couldn't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But then at the end, I completed it. You know, was there a lot of moments like that for you?
Not any that I got stuck on. There are a few that I could see what I needed to do, but I couldn't execute it. So as you're mentioning, like there are regular levels where you you crash land, you fight some enemies, you find some chests, some puzzle pieces, some lost galaxies, and some bots. And then there's a big boss fight at the end. That's a typical level. There are some of these challenge levels, which you unlock in a very fun way, which we'll talk about in the spoiler section of this conversation. Where your Twitch skills and platforming skills are put to the ultimate test, and they're one and done. Either you run the whole thing successfully or you start at the beginning. So it doesn't have the checkpoints or multiple, opportunities to sort of pause and catch your breath. So you'll be, for instance, trying to jump without double jumping the whole way and make it just based on judging your distances. Or there'll be one where you have to try to balance and make sure you don't fall off the edge of the map, or else you have to start over. And these are very long levels to consider the fact that they don't have any checkpoints, and so they're really meant to challenge you. And these are not for the faint of heart. These are not the ones that you pass the control over to your kid or your younger sibling. These are meant for the diehards, and you only get one bot at the end of each one, so they don't really make a huge impact on your ability to progress in the game. They're really just a skill check for you to challenge yourself. And there's a few of those, which I had a lot of trouble getting to. Like, I would get a little bit further each time, and then get right at the end, and then make a mistake, and have to start all the way over. And most of those I just left for now because I wanted to finish the game. And in order to do that, I needed many more bots. And I fully intend to go back and try to tackle them after we have this conversation, since I've finished now. But I definitely hard noped out of a few of them. Like every one of them, I gave a few tries, and if they were way too hard, I said, I'll just go progress the game and come back to this later. But yeah, there's some really challenging levels in here for sure.
Yeah, Bree, because I mentioned that this is the best PlayStation 5 game of this generation. Let's say you don't have a PS5. Do you think this would be the game that convinced you to buy a PlayStation 5?
Yes. I think this is a system seller. I think this is a game for PlayStation fans, platforming fans, and people who enjoy spending time with a game and vibing, zoning out, kind of like just going into another world. It's a game you can play next to people really well. You can pass the control over and say, okay, I messed up. You try this challenge level, or you get a turn, then I get a turn. It's a love letter to PlayStation, and I would say it's also a love letter to platformers. So if you enjoy any of those things, I would say this is a game for you. And you cannot play this game on anything else. It's, like I said, a DualSense masterclass, and that controller is really necessary to experience a lot of the magic of Astro Bot.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Now, I know people are still listening to this. I know you mentioned about spoilers, and I think right about now we're going to mention some spoilers.
Well, before we go full spoilers, I will just say, if you don't want to go in with anything already told to you, please consider it. If you're used to getting spoilers for stuff and you think you don't care, consider again. So if you've gotten this far, Danny started saying spoilers. If you noped out, good for you. But if you're still here and you haven't played, I highly, highly encourage you. If you plan to play this game, please go do it before you listen to this part of the podcast, because there are some truly, truly magical moments that can be ruined, at least the surprise element of it, if you keep listening. So please, this is maybe one of the heaviest spoiler warnings I will ever give.
Yes. So we're gonna go with one of the spoilers is I think the game characters. I just love seeing Crash Bandicoot.
So can I go first? Because I know less about PlayStation, and I don't want you to name all the ones that I recognize.
No, but can I mention one more? One that surprised me, because it's one of my favorite games that I wasn't expecting to be in this game. Is Rez from Rez HC. This is from the creators of Tetris Effect Connected. this is like they worked on this game a long time ago on the Sega Dreamcast and also on PlayStation. So yeah, they had one of the characters in there too. I was like, what? I was not expecting at all, at all. Was there any characters that surprised you that popped up in the when you discovered them?
Yeah, I don't want to use the word surprise because, I mean, there's over 150 characters that are specifically referencing different PlayStation and third-party titles. So lots of them, and it's impossible to name all of them because there's so many. But a couple that stuck out as a fun nod, like a moment where I was like, oh, that's really cute. And we'll get to levels in a minute. But one of the characters was the Katamari Damacy character with the wide cylindrical head. I was like, oh, wow, there's a Katamari character in here. That was really fun to see. And another one that caught me off guard, but I was like, oh, this is really cool, was Spyro.
Spyro, yes.
And when you go to your crash site, you see all of the bots you've rescued. They're all like hanging out and, playing with each other, and they'll help you accomplish different challenges in your crash site world. Very much like Pikmin. It gave me Pikmin vibes, and how all of the bots, like let's say you need 50 bots to make a bridge, they'll all just start like going hand to feet and like make a bridge for you and connect it so that you can run across all of them. And as you're running across them, you'll see the little bots that you rescued and you recognize the characters. It's really fun. There's another one that was really funny in the world. It was like from Jak and Daxter. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
They're funny in the world to watch as they interact and they're like playing around with each other. So yeah, there were a whole bunch that I thought were fun little nods, and I love to see them interact. But my favorite interaction was the fact that if you bonk Spyro, they'll set you on fire. It burns you really quickly for a hot second. It's very cute. So yeah, there's so many. But can we talk about our favorite worlds? Now that we're in spirit.
Yeah, we could definitely go for it.
Because there's so many, and there's a handful that I can give a shout out to. Like, I really like all of the functionality with the light bulbs that you get in like the ghoul and bots world, or the light bulb limbo. That's a really cool mechanic. I really loved Bot of War, where you get the axe from Kratos. You get the axe from
Kratos from God of War.
Kratos, the Leviathan axe, and you can swing it or throw it at enemies, and it freezes them. And you can also throw it at different like trigger points in the world, like to freeze a bridge or to stop a flow of water to make a waterfall turn into like a bridge or something you can climb. But the coolest part about that one is that you could actually throw it at the green glowy ravens, and there's like an Odin's Ravens challenge in that level too, straight from God of War, which is really fun. Another one that I got three more. Another one that was really cute was Ape from Ape Escape? What is it? Apes on the Loose. That's what it was. Apes on the Loose.
Yes. You have to capture all the apes like around.
Yeah, the little monkeys are running around.
Little monkeys, yeah.
And so you get the net that you can swing around from and you're trying to like get 20 different apes that are like hopping around, or monkeys that are hopping around, and they're like hiding in the bushes, or one of them just straight up runs from you and you have to just take off after it and try to catch it, and you're only a little bit faster than it, so it's really funny. But it's just so cute that you're literally just trying to like wrangle all these little monkeys. Another one that was really, really special is Downsized Surprise, where you get the mouse backpack and you shrink down to like have this like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids moment as you're like running through the level, but you're tiny. So instead of looking at a leaf on a plant, it's actually a platform that you can jump on because you're light enough and small enough to use it. And I thought that was just so inventive and really fun, and just a cool, different way to look at a world that you've gotten used to already, but then they turn it on its head. But my absolute favorite world was the one where you find Aloy at the end.
Oh,
and
one of my
you're
favorites.
Going through and playing like it's like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Like, so first you see Aloy. Well, you're flying into the planet. You see the little, what looks like deer, maybe like prancing around, and you get closer and you notice they look like they're mechanical somehow. And then you see a tall neck just walking slowly from right to left in front of you. And it's like, oh my God, I'm in Horizon. So then you land and you see Aloy is like doing her thing with the bow and arrow. And then she throws and tosses it to you and you catch the bow and you turn into a little bot Aloy. And then you have like bullet time as you're drawing your arrows back and trying to get all the enemies before they can throw stuff at you. And oh my gosh, it just felt so good. Like it was really, really clean. And then there's a moment in that level towards the end where you actually go and you climb the tall neck, just like you do in Horizon. It's like, this is the magic of what they can do with all of these different properties and all these different experiences that we have had in many different types of games. But they put them all together and it fits, like they could have easily phoned this in and they really didn't. Like, the fact that you're a bot Aloy and you're like slowly uncovering things and you're walking through the tall red leaves to hide from the enemies, and then you find a tall neck and you climb it. It's like they really very easily could have just put all that in the background and had you run through a normal level, but they made you feel like you're in the game that you remember playing, and it's just nostalgia on steroids. It's so effective. And even the retro levels that you can uncover this is again big huge spoiler, as you're flying around the galaxy looking for whichever next planet and challenge you want to land on and try to do, there are sometimes a meteor that's flying around in the universe in space. If you crash into that meteor, it splits up and creates a little space donut, which is what a dead star looks like. You fly in the middle of that dead star and then all of a sudden a new planet pops up. And it's a retro like block version of all of the enemies and terrain types that you've seen in the other levels. And as you go through, these are actually really hard levels. And again, you only get one bot for these challenge levels, but it's so worth it because like you get to see basically a Lego brick version of all of the different enemies you've been fighting. And it's really, really cool. I like the way that those stood out. It's just... Danny, they did their big one. Like, this is one of the most exciting games I've played in a long time. This is the most fun I've had playing a video game in a very long time. And I'm glad it exists. I'm really glad that they went for it. They could have done so many other things, and I'm glad this is what they chose to do. I'm glad ASOBI is the one who did it. Thank you to PlayStation for giving us the codes. Like, I'm just grateful to the whole world that this exists.
Yeah, I also will put this as contender for Game of the Year because
it's my Game of the Year right now.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what people are gonna say. Once like the Game of the Year announcement comes up. But this one's definitely gonna be there in a lot of places because this game is so good. And let me tell you this: I think the last game that I remember spend hours just like I need to complete this. For hours, because you probably would take your time, but this one was like straight for like just a weekend.
Hard binge.
It was Psychonauts 2 was the last one before
That's
that,
correct.
right?
And
before
that was
this
my
one.
Game of the Year that year.
And now this one.
Yeah, and I don't play platformers that often, so when one speaks to me, it really sings, and this sings. Danny, can we talk about the final level?
Not too much, but yeah. Because I don't want to spoil everything, you get what I'm saying? But yeah. I'll say this.
Ooh.
It's a Marvel Endgame moment.
Yeah.
That's the closest.
It felt the hype that I felt watching Endgame.
Yeah. 100%.
When Cap catches the hammer, that's the hype that I felt.
Yeah.
Playing this final level. I will say also, the credits.
Oh, credits is awesome.
Again, not wanting to spoil everything for people. Even if you have started playing and you think you don't care about spoilers, get to the credits, finish the credits, and then watch what happens after.
It's good.
Just watch. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. You think it's over, it's not over. Keep watching. It is so clever and unique and something I've never seen before, and I'm so glad I got to experience this. Like, holy cow, the credits alone puts it in top 5 of all time.
Yeah, it's one of the best credit scenes I've seen. Period.
Maybe
And
the
not only
best
this-
credits I've ever seen in a game, period.
Not only that,
Mic drop.
I did mention in my short video I posted on X/Twitter, I did say that this is a masterpiece. Do you agree?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. 100%.
This is
And
a
for me-
masterpiece. I would say that this is a game everyone must play if you love games. Period.
Sure. Period. For me to say masterpiece, it's rare. It's rare for me to say that for like any games. I think I mentioned that about Alan Wake 2. It's a couple Psychonauts. I put it up there. It's like a couple games. You know, this games have been game of the year, but they're not masterpiece in my opinion. You know, in the past. So yeah, I think this is a must have for anybody that just loves games. Forget about console exclusives, all that. Just play this because you love games.
Mm-hmm.
And props once again to Team ASOBI for creating a game that we're going to be talking about this decades from now. We're still going to be talking about this game. That's how good it is, you know. So, and also thanks to PlayStation, like you said, Ree, for not only giving us the opportunity to play the game back in Summer Game Fest, but also for getting the review codes early. It was cool reviewing this game. And so one last question, Ree, when you got to play this game at Summer Game Fest, which level you got to play?
When we tested it, we had some of the circle challenge levels were available. I don't think all of them. I think maybe just one of them.
Okay.
We played the Wako Taco, the octopus with the frog. The frog.
Oh,
fists.
nice. Okay.
We played through that level. So, and we did a little bit of flying around the world, and obviously it looked very different than it does in the full game, but we got to see a little bit of what it's like to fly around in the galaxy. And I think that was it. I think it was just the Wako Taco level and then the circle.
So it was like a
circle
30-minute session, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was about 30 minutes, a little more.
Cool.
But it was, oh my God, so fun.
Yeah, I know the next game
fun.
that's coming out for PlayStation, which I'm dying to play, is the Horizon Lego game. That looks fun. That looks really, really cool. And I know it's going to be available also for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and PC, I believe. Yes, all three. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Gamertag Radio episode. What episode is this? I totally forgot. It's okay. We're doing this live. Episode 1366. There you go. Everyone, thank you for listening. And don't worry, we're going to be coming back to do the live shows. It's just been one of the craziest schedules for us the past 2 months. Lots of travel, lots of embargo, all that stuff. But we'll be back so we could talk more about games and news and debates and all that stuff. So, but we do have a couple surprises for the next couple episodes coming up. So make sure to stay tuned for that. It's a big one. And we're going to be out. All right. Anything else, Riana NP?
No, that's it. Just keep an eye on our coverage on our channels, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.